school, did you use sound processing or what processing?
Hello. Hi, everybody. Hello, everybody. Let me just double check my Yeti here. It might have adjusted. Yes.
Go to the Yeti X. Yes. Yims yims. Okay. Fixed it. I fixed it. Sorry, chat. It was picking up everything around me. I fixed it. Don't worry. I fixed it. Hello. Hi, everybody. And welcome to Morbid Monday, where we talk about the dark, the macabre, and the strange. I'm here today to share with you case number 8, which is comparative eschatology. So, yes, I know the sound was borked. I fixed it. So, chat. What is comparative eschatology? Comparative eschatology is the academic or theological practice of comparing and contrasting beliefs about the end times, the last things, end times, death, judgment, afterlife, the apocalypse, and the ultimate destiny of the world across different religions, cultures, mythologies, and philosophical traditions. Yes, I'm glad to see that you're very excited. We're going to snooze the upcoming ad break. So, comparative eschatology covers both personal eschatology, which is what happens to an individual after death. Think heaven, paradise, what have you, as well as cosmic eschatology, which is the fate of the world, universe, and humanity. Now, chat. A comparative approach examines similarities and differences. Linear end times views in Abrahamic faiths, such as a one-time climax with tribulation, a final battle, e.g., Armageddon, or against the Dajjal or Antichrist figure, resurrection, judgment, and a renewed external world. Cyclical views in dharmic traditions like Buddhism, the current degenerate age, Kali Yuga, ends dramatically via Kalki, Avatar, or apocalyptic suns, but the universe is reborn in repeating cycles of creation and decay. And then it also covers cross-cultural parallels, like final battles leading to renewal or shared motifs of deception, false saviors, resurrection, and moral accountability. I hate the Antichrist. All my homies hate the Antichrist. So today, we are primarily going to be covering Jewish, Christian, Islamic, Zoroastrianist, Hindu, and Norse mythology, as they are true apocalyptic scenarios as Western theology understand it. This is total destruction of the world as we know it, and the universe as we know it, and the creation of a new state of being. We will not be covering Buddhism, particularly, just as a Buddhist, because it doesn't really fit the definition of a true apocalypse, because it is merely illustrating a cycle where nothing is destroyed, but things are renewed. And I say this as somebody who is actually Buddhist and who knows their own cosmology. So, let's get started with Judaism, apocalyptic eschatology. So, Judaism starts the apocalypse with what is called the birth pangs of the Messiah, or Shevle Messiah. There is widespread war in the world, there is suffering, and there is moral collapse. What is moral collapse? That means that people no longer follow the Shabbos and no longer follow the various laws, the various religious laws of Judaism. So much gooning. Gooning is a part of it, yes. Yes, indeed. What then follows is the War of Gog and Magog. Gog of Magog leads a final assault on Israel, or the people of Israel. Divine intervention destroys the invading forces. He will bring upon the Shevlim. And I'm sorry if I'm saying this wrong, chat. I'm sorry if I'm saying anything wrong. I do not speak Hebrew, so I do not understand how to pronounce these things. So forgive me. The defeat of Leviathan and Behemoth follows. Chaos monsters are slain by God. The appearance of the Messiah ben David, a human messianic king from the line of David, comes to Earth and starts to lead the armies. The ingathering of the exiles happens, so all of the various exiled people of Israel, of the Jewish people, are gathered together. There is a rebuilding of the third temple, which is in Jerusalem. Chaos, yes. Caiaphas Cain is hero of the Israeli. Stop it, Belgian. This is no joking matter. This is the end times. But anyway, the rebuilding of the third temple then occurs, and there is a universal recognition of God as the only God. There's the resurrection of the dead, which I'm not even going to attempt to try and pronounce what it is in Hebrew. The final judgment occurs, and then we have the world to come, Olam Haba. So, fairly straightforward, mirrors the Christian idea of the apocalypse fairly closely. Belgian, stop it. Stop being disrespectful. Especially since we're going on to Christianity. Even though, is this the one with the slaughtering of the red heifer or not? I do not know. I do not know. I don't know details because, again, this is not my cosmology, so I do not know the fine granular details of things. This is just generally speaking what happens. So anyway, we are going on to Christianity, which is the biblical apocalypse. I'm sure my Christians in the chat know what happens here. Belgian, I don't think that gooning will get you into the rapture. And the rapture isn't even, like, written about in the Bible. That is not a biblical thing. That is some very, very niche, odd cosmology that took place during, like, the 1800s. It was very weird and doesn't actually have a biblical basis. If you actually read the Bible, nowhere do we have anything like a rapture. But anyway. So, in the biblical apocalypse, what can we expect? It begins with the great apostasy, which is the rise of the Antichrist, which is the beast from the sea. You all know it. You all know that part. We are not going to confirm or deny that, Belgian. Then we have the rise of the false prophet, which is the beast from the earth, which, funnily enough, a lot of people conflate the two, the Antichrist and the rise of the false prophet, because they are actually distinctly different things within the book of Revelations. The B in Belgian stands for blasphemy, apparently. Yes. He is, like, the worst Catholic known to man. He is a Catholic in name only. Anyway, continuing. Then we have the mark of the beast, which appears upon the brow of the followers of the false prophet, and the rising of the whore of Babylon on the, I forgot what it was. She's supposed to be riding some sort of monster, but I'm completely blanking on what exactly that monster was. Anyway. The Great Apostasy features a corrupt world system, riding the beast, destroyed by allied kings. So all of these monsters that herald the beginning of the end times will be destroyed by allied kings. Then comes along the Seven Seals and the destruction of the Seven Seals. The Seven Seals usher in conquest, war, famine, and death as the four horsemen of the coming apocalypse. Then we have the blasting of the seven trumpets, which features ecological devastation and demonic plagues. Yes, we get a return to plague. We return to plague. From there, we get the 7 bowls of wrath, which features the total collapse of human civilization. Things like the sky raining fire and the oceans boiling and just general fire and brimstone. It features a lot of fiery death. Yes. The release of the satanic forces then happens, where hell opens up and demons and fallen angels and all manner of horrible forces then spill out and start to wage battle upon the earth. We feature the Battle of Armageddon next, where the armies of God and the armies of Satan then begin to battle it out on the battlefield of Earth. Then we have the second coming of Christ. So Christ rises and comes back down to Earth. We have the destruction of the Antichrist and the false prophet. No, Belgian. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. We have the destruction of the Antichrist and false prophet by the forces of God, including the Archangel Michael and Jesus. We have the binding of Satan, where he is bound and made to heal. Then we have the Millennial Kingdom, the final rebellion of Gog and Magog. Monsters. Belgian really needs to brush up on his Bible. Luckily, we have a Catholic Bible downstairs. Don't worry, I do have a video queued up for this particular section, so we will learn more. Belgian doesn't know who Gog and Magog are, chat. Anyway. We then have the Great White Throne Judgment and the creation of the new heaven and new earth. Now, to get a little bit more granular, I did actually manage to find a fairly good video, which I do recommend that you guys watch. It's a very good video by, let me just scooch over here, by Hochelaga on YouTube. Very good video. I like this video a lot. I've actually watched this in the past, so this is not new to me. So we are going to, first off, go and pause the background music. And we are going to watch through this video, and hopefully Belgian's question will be answered. So let us begin.
Apocalypse, doomsday, the end of the world. It's a gloomy subject that many world religions
I should put on
have
subtitles for
In
Belgian.
Christianity, the last book of the Bible, the Book of Revelation, contains a frightening.
Yeah, I actually like the Book of Revelation. I've read that one before. It's pretty good.
Multi-eyed, Bible-accurate angels for good measure. This book is without doubt the strangest and most disturbing book in the whole Bible. So naturally, it's a topic
I
have to
too
cover
am
on its own.
strange and
You may have
disturbing.
heard of the Book of Revelation, but may not be so familiar with what actually happens in the book. For example, where does the number 666 fit into all of it? If you're looking
Yes.
to learn more about the biblical apocalypse, well, you're in the right place. I've crafted together this handy introductory video. You never
Yeah, he explains it a lot better than I can. Belgian, how the hell did you manage to get to your confirmation and not actually read the book of Jesus? Like I said, he is the worst Catholic on the face of the planet, chat.
never know when you might need it. Before we start, it's worth noting that I'm going to examine the Book of Revelation from a secular, non-religious perspective. The book is highly symbolic and probably not
Okay,
meant to be
shush.
taken
We're
literally.
learning about the
So,
Bible.
at occasional moments throughout the video, I'll explain what some of the symbolism may mean, using the interpretations of biblical scholars.
Mhm.
Disclaimer out the way. Bring on the apocalypse.
Let's go!
The word apocalypse itself comes from the Greek, and it literally means to uncover something. That's actually why it's called the Book of Revelation. It's all
Yes.
to do with something being revealed. In this case, the end of the world. There's a rich history of these apocalypses in the Old Testament, but they don't necessarily have anything to do with the end times.
Yeah,
Sometimes they're just
the
these
apocalypse
startling visions
is...
of the otherworldly, like a glimpse of
Yeah.
God's throne in the Book of Ezekiel, or a dream featuring 4 strange beasts in the Book of Daniel.
Yeah.
The Book of Revelation is from the perspective of a guy called John. We don't know much
John.
about this character. It's not the same John who baptized people in the Jordan, nor
I
is it
like
the same
that.
person who wrote the
I
first
like
Gospel.
that he said that. He's just all like, some guy named John. This is all from the perspective of some guy named John. Given that I am not Christian, I do not know anything about John. Like, I don't know anything about John himself. I admittedly do not know much about Christianity, though I do know quite a lot just because I've actually read the Bible and, like, biblical theology fascinates me. So, this is not, like, totally foreign to me, but I have no idea who John is.
No, this is an entirely different John. It turns out that there's a lot of people called John in the Bible.
Well,
In fact,
yeah.
some scholars
There's a lot of
believe
people
that this
named John
particular
in general.
might not have existed at all. Like most books in the Bible, the Book of Revelation was written and edited by anonymous authors, and so John may have been a pseudonym. Scholars say that the oldest part
Probably.
of the book was probably written around 65 CE.
Hey, I have that picture.
May have reached it.
I have that picture right here in the thingy. See? He's right here. He's right here. Same picture.
Its final form at around 95 CE during the reign of Emperor Domitian. Both of these emperors, particularly the first one, Emperor Nero, were known for their brutal persecutions of early.
Incidentally, you know who my favorite emperor is? My favorite emperor is Marcus Aurelius. Second favorite is Claudius. I know enough about ancient Rome that I have a favorite emperor. Just to for you guys to understand just who you're dealing with here. Just so you understand who you're dealing with here.
Christians, a significant detail in order to understand the worldview behind the Book of Revelation. It was written in a frightening time for these first Christians, and their anxieties.
Yeah, they were getting thrown to lions.
Containing a frightening collection of visions about the end of the world. Let's turn to the contents of the vision itself.
Okay. Phase 1, the 7 seals. I mentioned
in the
this.
idyllic Greek island of Patmos, where our main character John has been exiled. Behind him, he suddenly hears a booming voice.
What did he do?
His name. He turns around.
Is it just because he was a Christian?
A spectral figure bathed in bright light, surrounded by 7 golden lampstands. This unnamed person, who some believe to be Jesus himself, has a very strange appearance. He is enrobed in white, with eyes like fire, and protruding from his mouth is a sharp, 2-edged sword. Yes,
okay.
This description is in the text, and trust me, it's not the strangest we've yet to see. This strange figure tells John to write to the 7 churches dotted across the Mediterranean, to give them a heads up about what's about to go down. Once he does so, John is immediately whisked up into heaven. From there, John gives a spectacular account of everything he sees.
Oh, yeah.
Is a giant throne with
The description of heaven is really fucking cool, by the way.
24 smaller thrones surrounding it. The central throne is so bright, glistening like many precious stones, that he can't actually make out the figure sitting on it, but we can safely assume that it's meant to be God himself. But his attention is quickly
God?
drawn to 4 strange, multi-eyed beasts
God?
that are floating around near the throne. Although the Bible calls them simply living creatures, you may already be familiar with them as Bible-accurate angels, good friends of the channel at this point.
Technically, they are cherubim. People say biblically accurate angels, and they don't understand that not all the angels look the same. The ones that they're thinking of are cherubim, usually. The ones with many eyes.
Here's a description he gives of them. Around the throne and on each side of the throne are 4 living creatures, full of eyes in front and behind. The first living creature is like a lion. The second living creature is like an ox. The third living creature with a face like a human face. And the fourth living creature like a flying eagle. All 4 living creatures, each of them with 6 wings, are full of eyes all around and inside. Day and night without ceasing they sing, Holy, 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 the Lord God the very strange description
Interesting.
indeed. A winged lion, ox, humanoid, and eagle, covered in eyes from head to toe, and singing praises to God eternally. By this point, you may have already watched my video on
Interesting.
Bible-accurate angels, and you may be familiar with these creatures in the book of Ezekiel in the Old Testament.
Yes.
They feature in a magnificent vision the Hebrew prophet gives of God's heavenly throne. In that video, I
Yes.
suggested that they likely developed from the Mesopotamian cherubim, known as lamassu. Sadly, however, there are none of those wheels with eyes, known as ophanim, to be found in this account.
Yes.
Not much else is said about these 4 eldritch hybrids other than this.
Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that these are specifically cherubim?
Although some have interpreted their multi-eyes as a symbol of God's all-seeing nature, others see it to be deliberately creepy. Now,
Deliberately
I don't know about
creepy.
you,
I like
but
that
certainly
phrasing.
see why they think this. After his description of the 4 living creatures, next before John comes another strange beast. It is described as looking like a lamb, although it has 7 horns and 7 eyes. Because, of course, it does.
Of course it
also
does.
looks like it's been slain. Because of this, many associate this being with Jesus, who is sometimes called the Lamb of
Hi,
God.
Harry!
Whatever it is, the lamb creature holds in its hooves a large scroll with 7 wax seals.
Yes.
With this, the apocalypse is truly underway. When the first seal is broken, out comes a man on a white horse, wielding a bow and wearing a crown.
This is
This
conquest.
is the embodiment of conquest, the
Yes.
first of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. Seal
Incidentally, I do know actually quite a bit about this part. Belgian says that the guy that was Conquest looks like Saitama. He has hair. That's just what medieval drawings look like. Belgian is being blasphemous, chat.
embodiment of conquest, the first of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse.
Although that would be
Seal
an
is broken, and out
interesting
comes a horseman.
that would be an interesting path for One Punch Man to take. The idea that Saitama is the first horseman of the apocalypse. I kind of like that.
Astride a red horse, holding a large sword. This
This
the
is
horseman
war.
of war.
Yeah.
Kinda similar to conquest in my opinion, but
No, different.
Seal 3 is broken, and out
Conquest is different from war. War is the actual act of committing conquest, whereas conquest is when everything's all done with war.
comes a rider on a black horse, holding weighing scales. This is the horseman of famine.
Yeah,
Finally,
famine.
the 4th
And
seal is
then
broken,
death
out comes
rides a
rider
pale
on
horse.
Pale horse, the embodiment of death itself, with 4
I like that the pale horse had a heart cutie mark. My Little Pony is real. Anyway,
of the 7 seals broken, the lamb creature hands the 4 horsemen a quarter of the Earth's population to destroy. Either through
interesting.
famine, pestilence, or death.
Bullshit.
Okay,
No.
there are 3 seals left, and
Okay, so something he doesn't cover is that pale, at least within biblical symbolism, pale refers to like a green color, not like white or gray or anything like that. Pale means green.
3 unpleasant events left to transpire. Luckily,
Yes.
Seal 5 is a bit of a dud. Nothing really happens other than the souls of the martyrs are given nice white robes and told to wait around a bit for the final judgment. But when
All right.
Seal 6 is opened, things get really nasty for people on Earth. No sooner than
Yes.
the seal is broken, and there's a giant earthquake. An earthquake so large that, quote, every mountain and island was removed from its place. If we
Damn,
take
that
this
is a
as
big
true,
ass
this kind of
earthquake.
would far surpass the magnitudes of the biggest recorded earthquakes, like the 1960 Valdiva earthquake in Chile that measured 9.5 on the Richter scale. Such a large earthquake would be particularly bad news for anyone living on tectonic fault lines,
Yes.
as well as a cataclysmic
California
earthquake.
would
The 6th
be
seal would also make
obliterated.
the sky turn black. Were it to happen, perpetual darkness would be devastating for Earth, especially for plant life, which requires sunlight to perform photosynthesis.
Video
Interestingly,
volume
the
low.
second
I'm sorry. Hang on. I did have the captions on so that you guys could see at least what was going on.
events have actually happened
That better?
before and are often caused by
Okay.
major volcanic eruptions. In 536 CE, During a period in European history, aptly known as the Dark Ages, a giant
Really?
volcanic eruption, believed to be from Indonesia, triggered what is known as a volcanic winter.
Oh yeah,
This is when
yeah.
vast
I've heard of
quantities
this.
of volcanic ash enter the atmosphere, dimming the sunlight and causing rapid cooling. Writing from Constantinople in
Fair enough,
526,
Harry.
Byzantine
Sorry about that.
historian Procopius wrote that, quote, "During this year, a most dreaded portent took place, for the sun gave forth its light without brightness, and it seemed exceedingly like the sun in eclipse, for the beams it shed were not clear. Other contemporary writers as far away as Ireland have attested to the same extreme weather, indicating that this phenomenon may have been widespread at the time, and
Yes.
that the Earth was indeed in a volcanic winter. If giant earthquakes and volcanic winters were not enough, the sixth seal also describes how, quote, "the stars of the sky fell to Earth." Now,
Yeah,
if
this
an
is what I
actual
mentioned
star collided
earlier.
with-
This is what I mentioned earlier in this slide, where yeah, ecological devastation and demonic plagues and whatnot. Yeah.
the Earth, then
And
that
raining
really be
fire
game
and
over,
whatnot.
as Earth
Yes.
would be engulfed into a much larger ball of flame and plasma. It is more likely, therefore, that the author is referring to a meteor shower. Often these are quite harmless. Earth orbits through many space rocks every day, resulting
Yep.
in beautiful shooting stars. Things get dangerous, however, when these rocks are big enough to not fully burn up in the atmosphere. One such occasion was the Tunguska event in 1908, where a meteoroid of an estimated 100 meters landed in
That's a
eastern
big-ass
Siberia,
meteor.
flattening the surrounding forest of up to 2,100 square kilometers. That's 830 square miles. Being in Siberia, the land was sparsely populated, so only
Thank
3
God.
people were believed to have been killed. Had this landed on a city in 1908, then it would have been truly catastrophic. Seal 6 is pretty brutal. Mega earthquakes, perpetual darkness, and meteorite impacts. But there is one more seal left. The
Yep.
seventh seal. Fortunately, just like Seal 5, Seal 7 doesn't bring too much calamity. The book simply says, quote, "There was a silence in heaven for about half an hour." Perhaps
For
the
about a
multi-eyed
half an hour.
living creatures from earlier can finally get a break from singing God's praises.
Okay, 7 trumpets.
You
Let's
would have thought
go.
that the 7 seals were enough to end Earth. More
Nope.
bad things are on the way. Almost as soon as the 7th seal is opened, out come 7 angels holding 7 trumpets.
Yes.
Now, you've probably noticed that the number 7 appears quite a bit in the book of Revelation. 7 golden lampstands, 7 seals, now 7 trumpets.
7 is a very magically potent number. Just saying.
The number 7 is a significant one throughout the Bible. For example, in the book of Genesis, it reportedly took 7 days to create the universe. In the ancient world, this number
Yes.
7 was often regarded as the number of completion. The idea that the number 7 was a special number carried on into later Christian tradition, where you also get the 7 deadly sins.
Yes.
Which, by the way, is another topic I've covered on the channel. Forget what you've seen about cute angels with sweet little trumpets. These
Haha,
7 trumpets
nope.
are about to destroy the earth. It's about to get dark, and in the case of trumpet 4, quite literally. Let's quickly rattle off what each trumpet does.
Let's
Trumpet
go.
1 causes fire and hail to rain down on the earth.
Okay, we got
Wildfires
fire and
soon
hail.
rage on the planet, and a third of Earth's vegetation gets burnt up. Trumpet 2 sounds, and a great mountain-sized object falls into the sea, turning a third of the oceans into blood. It also kills
We got
a third
oceans of
innocent
blood.
sea creatures, which is pretty sad. Trumpet 3 plays, and a star falls from heaven and lands onto the Earth's rivers. The star is even given a name, Wormwood. This is actually a type of
Interesting.
semi-poisonous herb, also known as mugwort, which makes
Yes.
sense in the Book of Revelation, because wormwood contaminates all the world's fresh water supplies, making it bitter and toxic.
Okay,
Trumpet 4
toxic
shoots,
water.
And a third of the sun goes out, shrouding the planet in darkness. We seem to have already had this one already, back in the 6th seal. This discrepancy has led some scholars to suggest that a different author is writing here, perhaps
Yes.
unaware of the previous destruction wrought by the 7 seals. Trumpet 5, in my opinion,
So the sun
is
goes
the
out.
strangest
Well,
of them all. An
a
angel
third of the sun
descends
goes
to
out.
Earth with a big key. The key opens a large trapdoor to a bottomless pit, and out of the pit comes a thick black smoke that eclipses whatever
Ah,
sunlight
the
was there.
demons. We got the
Then,
demons.
Out of the dense fumes,
We're
emerge
5 in.
giant
We got
locusts
demons.
that swarm and cause plagues all over the earth. Now,
Oh, no,
these
this is
aren't
the
just any
plagues,
giant
excuse me.
locusts. They are Book
These are
of
the plagues.
Revelation giant locusts, and so they're given a very disturbing description. Here goes. They have human faces and long flowing hair. They wear armor and have little crowns on their head. Oh, also,
What?
they have lion's teeth and giant scorpion stingers. Because,
What the
again,
fuck?
why not? These creatures are given the instruction to sting people, but not enough to kill them. In fact, It says that people will be unable to die during this time, no
Oh,
matter
that
how much they
sucks.
might wish to. This is absolute nightmare fuel, but there are still 2 trumpets to go. Trumpet 6 is sounded, and 4 angels are released to kill a third of humankind, all of whom help to exterminate a third of humans' population.
All right,
The
so
final
that's
trumpet, trumpet 7,
6. Now we're on
doesn't cause
7.
any destruction. Instead, there's a little hymn for those in heaven, and a few flashes of lightning here and there, but no major destruction on Earth. At this point, I'd imagine that the world is practically unlivable. I'm starting to think that calling this video a survival guide might seem a bit pointless.
Yes.
The water has turned into blood, things are on fire, there's no sunlight anymore, and there are giant manticore-looking locusts stinging people. The Book of Revelation is really
Manticore-looking
going to town in painting
locusts.
the most disastrous picture possible. Believe it or not,
So
there
far.
are still yet more troubles to come, but in the form of
Yes.
3 giant monsters.
Ah, here we go. The beasts. We got the
Up
beasts
first
now.
is a giant red dragon with 7 heads and 10 horns. So 2 of the 7 heads have 2 horns each. The tail of the dragon is so large that when it sweeps, it apparently casts a third of the stars down. We find out that the red dragon is Satan himself, who is suddenly attacked and defeated
Interesting.
by the archangel Michael. Dragon Satan gets booted out of heaven.
For those who don't know, the Archangel Michael is the leader of God's armies in heaven. So, kind of makes sense that he'd be the one to destroy the devil.
And throw down to earth, and the land swallows him up. After this strange little episode comes the main attraction, the 2 so-called beasts.
The
first beast
beasts.
comes out from the sea. This first beast has the shape of a leopard. It's got feet like
This
a
is the
bear and a
Antichrist,
mouth
if I
like a
remember
lion.
correctly.
It's got multiple heads, and no surprises that there are 7 of them. Like the dragon, it's got 10 horns, with a diadem on each of those horns. One of the heads, however, looks to be
Yes.
wounded. Once coming up from the sea, this beast goes around bad-mouthing
Exactly,
God
Harry.
and saying all kinds of blasphemies. The survivors on Earth, and yes, apparently there are survivors, all start to
Of course they're
worship
survivors.
this monster. Then, suddenly, the Earth opens up, and another strange beast comes out from the ground. Compared with the first beast, the description is lacking a bit. All we get is that it has 2 horns like a lamb, but speaks like a dragon, and that's really it.
Interesting.
This beast goes around telling the
I'm gonna
inhabitants of
sneeze,
Earth
I can feel
how
it.
great beast number 1 is, and performs a bunch of magic tricks to prove it's legit.
Oh,
The
excuse
character
me,
is
chat.
later known as the false prophet, although you may
The
be familiar with
false
the name
prophet.
used in other Christian texts, the Antichrist. Literally
No, no, no,
meaning
no,
the
no, 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 no,
anti-Messiah.
no. He gets this part wrong. The Antichrist is the first beast, the beast from the sea. False prophet is a different one. There's a lot of confusion in biblical texts about which one is which. But if I remember correctly, the beast from the sea is supposed to be the Antichrist. The beast from the earth is the false prophet.
So, should you choose to believe in this monster, it's bad news for you. This beast goes around and writes a specific number on the foreheads of idolaters, the famous mark of the beast. The number
Tim Sweeney is the false
666.
prophet. It all makes sense now.
What is
Shut
significant
up,
about this
Belgian.
number, 666? Well, many biblical scholars have suggested that it's a code for the tyrannical Emperor Nero. You see, in the classical
He's
world,
explaining
there was
it.
this practice of assigning letters to numbers. It's known as gematria. Hebrew
Hmm.
letters had this system too, and if you spell out Emperor Nero in Hebrew, they add up to the number 666.
Yes.
Some of the oldest versions of the Book of Revelation, like this papyrus manuscript found at Oxyrhynchus in Egypt, have the number 616. Gematria still works here, just for a different spelling of Nero's name. Interestingly, the Book of Revelation says that in order to buy and sell things, you need to show the mark of the beast. As with today's currencies, Roman coins often featured the head of state, in this case the emperor. So, in order to barter and trade, you need to show the mark of the beast, i.e. the Emperor Nero's face on
Interesting.
coinage. This interpretation is further supported by the Greek word for mark, as in mark of the beast, which is charagma, and it's most commonly used to refer to the imprinting of coins. What's
Yes.
the Emperor Nero got to do with the beast? Well, Emperor Nero, who ruled from 54 to 68 CE, was responsible for a number of infamous Christian persecutions.
Yes.
Early Christians refused to worship the emperor, who, in the imperial cult, was a divine figure. Instead, they held that their exclusive belief was in God, the God of Israel. This
Yes.
enraged many a Roman emperor, especially Nero, who attempted
Fun fact. Ancient Roman scholars like Professor Rosenberg, who was the professor I had for Intro to Ancient Rome. She states that many ancient Roman scholars believe that the reason why Nero has a beard, which was unusual for many emperors. Most emperors were clean shaven, and during the time of Nero, it was common for men to go clean shaven. The reason that he has a beard is because it's believed that he might have suffered from ingrown hairs when he would shave. So the texture of his hair basically made it so he had to have a beard. Just so you know. Fun aside.
To persecute them out of existence. He even blamed the Great Fire of Rome on the Christians, and contemporary writers wrote harrowing accounts of all the suffering this emperor inflicted, such as
Yeah,
drawing
but
Christians
Nero
to
was
life.
also
As a result,
crazy.
Nero
Like,
especially
legitimately
became a
insane.
symbol of evil. So, when the book of Revelation is talking about people worshipping the beast, it refers to the practice of worshipping the emperor. All this is done
Yes.
in code. Those who bear the mark 666, in other words Nero, will be condemned to suffer for all eternity.
Okay, time for the 7 bowls.
Once the earth is under the dominion of these strange beasts / Roman emperors, up in heaven the angels
No,
are preparing
no.
the final-
What it was is Nero just had a more textured hair. Probably because I believe that he was part Greek, and Greek people typically have curlier hair than Italians do. Either that or it's because he was from a more southern part of Italy where they also tend to have textured hair. I don't remember exactly. It's been like over 10 years since I've taken Intro to Ancient Rome, so I could be getting my facts wrong there.
final phase of destruction. We've had 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and now we've got 7 bowls. These bowls are said to be full of God's wrath. Whatever that
God's
entails.
wrath.
Either way, the bowls work in a similar way to
We
the
was
seals and
emperors.
trumpets.
Shut
When
up,
they're poured onto the
Harry.
earth, bad things happen. Here we go again. Final one this time. Bowl 1 is poured onto the earth, and painful sores and boils form on all the
Hey,
people who wear a
more
mark of the beast on their
plague.
forehead. Bowl 2 causes the whole sea now to turn into blood, no longer just a third of it. Bowl
Okay.
3 causes all the fresh water, the lakes and the rivers, to turn to blood. Yep.
Okay, everything is blood now.
Bowl 4 causes the sun's heat to intensify, scorching people on Earth badly. Bowl 5
All right.
causes the kingdom of the beast to go dark, and political instability ensues. Some have seen this as a reference to the fall of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I was about to say, that sounds suspiciously like the fall of the Roman Empire. There was a lot of instability. Case in point, the summer of the 7 emperors, I believe it was. It was either 7 or 12. I can't remember exactly. But there was a period where they had like so many emperors getting either killed off in coups or being deposed in some way. It was insane. Look it up. It's really cool history.
Bowl 6 causes the river Euphrates, that's in modern-day Iraq, to dry up. Later, the world's armies
Why
all
there
assemble and do
specifically?
battle at a place known as Armageddon. Fun fact,
Yes.
the Hebrew word for Armageddon is Har Megiddo, referring to Mount Megiddo in northern Israel.
Yeah.
Over time, Har Megiddo shifted to Armageddon, and because of the Book of Revelation, it became another name for the apocalypse. Bowl 7 is your classic Book of Revelation business. Lightning, hailstones, and a massive earthquake which destroys the city of Babylon. However, where Babylon was the great city of evil in the Old Testament, by the time of the New Testament being written, the city of Babylon had long been deserted, having been conquered by the Persians some 500 years before. So instead, many believe that Babylon is a reference to the capital city of the empire, Rome. Again,
All
it's
right,
another
then.
example of the Book of Revelation speaking in code. After a third and final round of devastation, which seems to me a tad excessive, the vision in the Book
Does
of
it, though?
Revelations begins to near its end. In fact, the whole thing wraps up pretty quickly, without much of a
Yeah,
struggle.
yeah, it does.
The first and second beast are captured by the armies of God and are kicked into, quote, a lake of fire that burns with sulfur. Which
Yeah,
is
so they
further
get
reference
murderized.
to hell. Then the giant multi-headed dragon, which is Satan, is locked up in the pit too and is sealed for 1,000 years.
Yes.
In this intermission, Jesus comes down to rule the earth until things pick up again.
Yes.
Well, time flies. 1,000 years pass and Satan is released. It's now time for the epic final showdown.
Also,
of
I like the
biblical
use
proportions.
of
However, the
Herodotus
series finale of the
paintings
Bible
in the
is a bit
back.
anticlimactic. All that happens is a shoot of fire zips down from heaven and engulfs the evil army. Satan
All
and
right.
his monsters are cast into the lake of fire and sulfur to join the beast.
It sounds like they just
and
wanted to
every
wrap
influence
this up near the
finally
end.
comes to an end. The book of Revelation draws to a close, and we get the Bible's happy ending, a vision of something called the New Jerusalem. It's a description
Yes.
of a wondrous new city made of solid gold. Our protagonist
Solid
John
gold, you
goes to
say?
great lengths to describe its dimensions, and it turns out that the New Jerusalem is one giant cube. Its length, width, and height are 12,000 stadia, which is 2,220 kilometers. That's 1,380
That's
miles.
kind of a
In
small
this
city.
God,
Then again, there
Jesus,
aren't
all
that
the
many
do-gooders,
people
and
left
all the
by this
multi-eyed
point.
creatures live in perpetual harmony. It is this vision of a
What?
strange sci-fi construction that the book
It's bigger than Belgium. You gotta factor in that it's still fairly little for supposedly being the only city on Earth left over. Which just goes to show how many fucking people are dead by this point.
Book of Revelation closes with, and with it, the entire Bible comes to an end.
Yep.
So, without a doubt,
That's the end of the Bible.
Revelation is the strangest book in the Bible.
Yes,
Finishing
yes, it
off
is.
In a maelstrom of
It is
fire,
quite weird.
earthquakes, eldritch creatures, chaos, and calamity. If such an event were to take place, it looks to be a pretty unpleasant affair. In such a complex and intricate book of the Bible, I haven't managed to explore everything this strange book has to offer, just the main story beats. If you'd like me to cover any aspects that have interested you in this video, do write them down in the comments below.
Okay, the rest of this is just the outro, but definitely go and follow. Go ahead and subscribe to Hochelaga. He's very good at breaking down the Bible in a way that doesn't seem preachy, but actually like kind of explores a lot of what's going on in different parts of the Bible. I highly recommend. I'm currently finishing up his video on the Book of Enoch, and it's pretty good. Anyway, we're going back to the main slideshow here. Okay, so that was the biblical apocalypse for you guys. Now, we are going to move on to Islam, apocalyptic eschatology. So, we feature, again, moral and social collapse. You can see with the Abrahamic religions, there's a lot of overlap. The appearance of the Mahdi, the emergence of the Dajjal, which is the false Messiah, the descent of Isa, or Jesus, who defeats and kills the false Messiah, the release of Yajuj and Majuj, Gog and Magog, which rampage across the world. They get destroyed by divine intervention from God. Tim Sweeney really gets around. Shut up, Belgian. The beast of the earth rises up. Smoke covers the earth. The sun rises from the west instead of the east. The trumpet is blown by Israfil. That is Gabriel. The destruction of the world, the resurrection of the dead happens. The day of judgment occurs. Thank you for the biddies. Go get milk. Go get milk. Hopefully you will come back with the milk. Thank you for the biddies. Appreciated. Anyway, we have the resurrection of the dead, the day of judgment, and then the final division of the world into paradise and hell. So, again, very similar across all Abrahamic religions. It more or less follows the same format. Here's where we start getting a little weird. So, Zoroastrianism also has an apocalypse, which is known as the final renovation. We see the world increasingly corrupted by Angra Mainyu, or Ahriman. This is the dark deity of the religion. We have the birth and appearance of the final savior. We have the resurrection of the dead and the final judgment of all who live on earth. Then we have molten metal flooding the earth. The righteous will pass unharmed. Evil will be purified or destroyed. We have the destruction of Ahriman. And then we have the perfected world that follows, which is immortal, incorruptible creation. So everything basically becomes paradise. Now, we get to Hinduism, which is a Puranic apocalypse. complete degeneration of the Kali Yuga, which is the current time. We have the collapse of Dharma, where the moral and the natural order of things just completely collapses, and we no longer feature the wheel of samsara, which is the cycle of death and rebirth. Then comes the appearance of the Kalki avatar, which is mounted on a white horse wielding a flaming sword. We have the destruction of corrupt rulers and societies. We have the end of the Kali Yuga, so everything gets wiped clean. We have pralaya, which is cosmic dissolution, so everything dissolves. We have the recreation of the world as incorruptible and as clean. And then we have the beginning of Satya Yuga, which is the next cycle of creation and destruction. And now we get to the one that you all have been waiting for. My personal favorite of the apocalypses. I think this is a very fun apocalypse to talk about. This is Norse Ragnarok. Now, for people who don't know, the Norse religion, the religion of heathenism and Asatru, believes that the gods of the Norse are not immortal. They are completely mortal. They can be killed. They can be murderized. So, what happens during Ragnarok? We have the moral collapse of humanity. Honor, discipline, all of that completely goes by the wayside. We then feature Fimbulwinter, which is 3 consecutive winters without a summer. Which, given that the Norse were in Scandinavia, that's kind of a big deal because that means that everything goes dark. Everything goes dark, it becomes bitingly cold, and there is no sun seen for 3 years. We have then the breaking of cosmic bonds. So Fenrir, the wolf birthed by Loki, escapes. Loki is freed from his prison, where he is being chained and having a serpent spit poison into his eyes every day. We have Jormungand, the world serpent, rises from the sea. Nafalgar sails with the dead. Nafalgar being one of the various gods of death. Sun and moon are devoured by Fenrir. So the cosmic wolf devours the sun and moon. And then we feature the final battle of Ragnarok. So Odin is killed by Fenrir, the wolf. Thor then kills Jormungand and dies. Freya is killed by Surtur. Tyr and Garm kill each other. Loki and Heimdall kill each other. Surtur burns the world, so the entire world is engulfed in flame. Earth then sinks into the sea, so all of the continents, all the land masses all sink into the sea. And the world is then reborn. Surviving gods who did not participate in the battle return, and humanity is then reborn from Lif and Lifthrasir. And yes, that little symbol there is a thoth. It's a th noise, so it's Lifthrasir. And some people have jokingly said that Ragnarok is already upon us because we've seen several things such as the wolf being sighted over Sweden in the Northern Lights, and we have recently discovered that there is a pan-continental trench that encircles the world. So people are all like, "Oh, there's Jormungand." So yeah, people are saying that there is a very real possibility that we are entering Ragnarok, which I think is incredibly funny. So what's the conclusion that we can make here? What is the conclusion that we can make here? Comparative eschatology, as a concept, allows us as humans to cross religious divides and find common ground, even if it's through mutual agreement on how exactly we're all going to die. This this practice within theology allows us as humans to come to grips with our mortality and how exactly we believe that the world will end, and allows us to find common ground in details on how exactly the world will end. And you can see through all of the different things that we talked about, there are some similarities across cultures, and most of them all start with a period of moral dissolution, for example. And there's a lot of talk of saviors and Christ like figures and messiahs coming back to rule upon the earth or to defeat the armies of evil. So that is a huge part of eschatology, is finding those things that we as humans can all agree upon. The precise how of the destruction of everything might vary, but eschatology is a real way to come to grips with the knowledge that our personal and cosmic end comes for us all. So I want to thank everybody for showing up today. I really appreciate it. It was a very short stream, all things considered, especially since the last stream was like 3 hours long, and this one's only been about an hour. But I want to thank you guys for showing up. I love doing these. Yeah, you're welcome, Harry. Thank you again for the biddies. Very much appreciated. I want to thank you guys for showing up. I love you guys whether you're enrolled here. Tomorrow we will be doing yet another Scarlet Hollow stream. And again, we will be using the Oracle cards. The Oracle cards were very beneficial last time for helping us make quick decisions. So I want to thank you guys for showing up. I love you guys whether you're enrolled here. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for some more Scarlet Hollow Hardcore.